Hello, I am responding to Mr. Repsion's video critique of the most recent Feminist Frequency video, Tropes versus Women in Video Games, Damsels in Distress. Now, I just want to preface this by saying that I think that both Mr. Repsion and Anita Sarkeesian are intelligent people, but I don't usually agree with Anita's views on things. And I also don't agree with some of Mr. Repsion's views on things. I've watched a few of Anita's videos, and although they never really come off as being like way off the wall or anything, I disagree with some of her opinions. That being said, I actually did agree with this video. And I think that Mr. Repsion kind of missed the point of it. He talks about it as if she's trying to say that there aren't any female role models in video games, or that all female video game characters are damsels in distress, but she really doesn't say that. She's more so just bringing attention to a trope that is really common in video games and other forms of media, and has been common for a really long time, and discussing how it misrepresents women. So I feel that his judgment was a little bit unfair. And I don't know, maybe he didn't watch the whole video, maybe he didn't watch any of it. I feel that he did, and maybe he just didn't want to listen, or didn't listen enough, or something, because he really seems like he missed the entire point of this video. I'd also like to point out how he brings up the Princess Peach's game, and how Anita doesn't really talk about that. And she sort of implies like she's going to talk about it. She kind of brings it up, and she's like, but we'll get to this later, and then she never touches on it again in the video. But she is planning a second part to the video, and I get the feeling she's probably going to talk about it there instead, considering that the second part, to my understanding, is more about more modern games, and the first part is just sort of how the trope of the damsel in distress has, you know, kind of been all throughout the history, has been present throughout the history of gaming, and to sort of give a little bit of back history on where it originated and where it's been in other forms of media and all of that. Another thing I want to talk about is how he brings up that she's a hardcore feminist, and he says it in a way where it's like he's acting like it's bad that she's a hardcore feminist. And although I disagree with a lot of views common to hardcore feminism, or radical feminism, or whatever you want to call it, and I disagree with a lot of her views, I don't even really think she's that hardcore of a feminist to begin with. I know feminists who are way more hardcore than she is. And also, her beliefs are fairly benign. She's not like a misandrist. She doesn't believe in forming a matriarchy. She doesn't believe in any of the really radical feminist views that are out there that are really kind of unsettling to those of us who don't want to live in a female-dominated world. And honestly, most feminists don't believe in that. Most feminists believe, you know, in the patriarchy, and in, you know, that we live in a misogynist culture and all that. And although she does believe in all of that, those aren't necessarily really hardcore beliefs of feminism anymore. They're pretty common with third wave feminism, and have been common since second wave, I think. So, I mean, and honestly, they're fairly benign. They're just a different opinion on, you know, the way our society works and handles gender. They're not really saying that, you know, men are evil or anything. They're not really radical views. They're just saying, hey, we believe that we live in a society governed by men, and it's not cool. And I can kind of see where they're coming from, even though I believe in something a bit different. So anyway, that's just my opinion. I just kind of wanted to point out, because a lot of people are like, when I was reading the comments, a lot of people are kind of just like circle jerking the idea that Anita Sarkeesian's this big awful person, and a lot of people on the internet have been since her Kickstarter launched. And I don't really even think she's a bad person. As I said, I disagree with a lot of her beliefs. I don't think she should have comments and likes disabled on her videos. I think that she should enable that just to open up the dialogue with her viewers and with the people who oppose her opinion. But, you know, I don't really think she's done anything that, like, that really warrants a lot of the hate she gets. So yeah, that's my video. Deuces.